HHDG. Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media Podcast. Shout out to everyone tuning in right now to this live interview through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG Media. As you can see, as always, on the banner below, you can go and check out latest music, upcoming events, as well as our merch through our website, hhdgmedia.com. And this is always come to you through our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of myself, Wiki, T. Smith, the Mayor, Skelly Top, and Rock Vader KB. For tonight, they've been on here before, and they'll continue to be on here with the talent that they have. Just this year, another dope album, this time together. D-Styles from the Beat Junkies, Invisible Scratch Pickles, and Substance810 from the Umbrella Crew together dropped He Who Laughs Last. If you haven't heard it, you're behind right now. These two, I feel, was something that I still wasn't expecting the two of them to be working together. And I feel that D-Styles is on, he's just reached another plateau with the production that he's been consistently putting out with projects with Jay Cyanide, XP the Marksman, and the cuts. He's definitely a technician. Definitely a technician. And Sub, man, what more can I say? You know, lyrical ability. You know, there's people out there that you could rhyme their ass off, but put that thought into it the way Sub does. Put that song structure the way Sub does. Create a whole concept around the album. Not many people are doing it like that. And I want to know, how these two came together to create this new album and the significance of the Joker. So without further ado, I'd like to have Substance810. Peace.
Peace, my brother. Ian, what up?
And D-Styles.
What's up, Ian?
Peace.
What's up,
Cheers.
fellas? Cheers.
No doubt.
What's that? That look like a red stripe.
Oh, yeah, it's a red stripe. Yo.
Yeah, there you go.
Take me back to Jamaica, man. Yeah.
Man.
What up?
So, for those that aren't familiar, we've had both of you on there before. So when y'all get the chance, definitely go check those interviews out.
Yep.
But for tonight, we definitely going to dig into He Who Laughs Last. So, tell us how the two of y'all came to start working together for this project.
Yeah, so Substance was a guest on the album I did with Noah the Flood.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a song called Federale. And right when I heard his verse, it was like, damn, I need to work with this dude right here. You know what I mean? And so we just stayed in touch, and it was really like all about timing. He was working on projects, I was working on projects, and so we just chipped away at it slowly. But yeah, like I asked him if he was down to build on something, and he was down, and so I was just sending him beats slowly, one by one, and he would send me back verses, and we just kind of compiled this album. But a lot of the concept was pretty much Substance, man. He already had the whole Joker thing in mind, the artwork and all that, and so I kind of just put it together, but he had that whole concept, man.
Word. Appreciate that, man.
Yep.
It came together
So
quick though.
say it
What
again.
were you gonna ask? I said it came together rather quick. What were you gonna ask though?
Oh no, I was gonna say, D Styles was talking about you came up with the whole Joker theme and everything. So, what was going on in your mind to use the Joker?
Um, I had seen a picture, like it just like from one of the movies with Heath Ledger. That it ended up inspiring the cover. Um, I forgot where I seen it. I think I came up with the idea for the art first for sure before the title. But I forgot where I had seen the art. I keep thinking where did I see it, but I forgot where I seen it. But that's what sparked the idea for the actual art of me hanging out the window, and like the actual gun and everything came later. But once I seen that and I knew what I wanted to do with it, then the title came after. You know what I mean? But honestly, if you ask me, I think the beats is what really brought it together, man. Because the beats, like that D was sending, like all fit the theme. You know what I mean? Like it really sounds like a movie, bro. And everything sounds dark and like real cinematic and like action packed. You know what I mean? So
Word.
for sure.
Man, D Styles, what is how would I say this? I said you're on another level right now with the production, but you, what happened? Because everybody knows that you produce and DJ, but now it's like album after album, bangers after bangers. Like, what's going on over there?
Man, I mean, like just during the pandemic, I was at home and like I just started to go through all my old records again, and back in the day, I used to make little notes on records like, "Ooh, there's a good loop on this song. There's
Mm,
there's drums on this," and so I've been stockpiling a bunch of samples, and I just had that time again since I was home, and so I started making beats, and s- like sometimes you'll make one beat per day, sometimes you'll bang out four, and at that point I was sitting on a bunch of beats, and I was just looking for MCs to work with, and so I'm just lucky that Substance was down to work with me, man. And so
mm,
you know, like I said, it was like I'd send him one beat, and I don't like sending too many beats just because I don't want to overwhelm who I'm working with. So I'd rather like just kind of go song by song, and luckily Sub was down to do that too, and he works fast. He would send me back his verse in a day or two, and that just kept me motivated, and so I kept making more beats, and you know what I mean. After like a few months, we were pretty much like we were sitting on like on a solid album already.
Hmm. Yeah, I think at that point we just how long do we want it to be? We probably could have made it longer if we wanted to.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think we made the perfect amount though.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it definitely helped that Substance had a show in LA. So I came down to LA and met him, and we knocked out two videos out there.
Hmm.
Shout out to Mark Ford,
Yeah,
and yeah, man, that was just the visual part of it really was like icing on the cake for it.
yeah, that was perfect timing. I don't know if that could have worked out better
Right, right.
for the
mm.
rollout and everything, because that was last year in October when we shot those videos,
Yep.
Okay.
So that's how ahead we were. We didn't release till February.
Yeah.
That was good timing. It's a pleasure though, man. It's an honor, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I'm just glad
Likewise.
I could back up my part. You know what I mean?
I was just following you, bro. I'm just following you. So
That's humbling. No doubt.
Now, Sub, I know you knew about the Beat Junkies back in the day.
Hmm.
You know,
Of course.
so
Hmm.
how did that feel? With Creme de la Creme, you were already working with D Styles, and then now for a whole album.
I mean, just doing the feature on Creme de la Creme was enough. You know what I mean? Like that was an honor in itself. And then when I seen the reaction that it got, that was surprising because even that song is not like something I normally people expect to hear me on that like
Hmm.
that tempo. a different type of cadence than people like probably thought they were gonna hear me, you know, spitting or whatnot. So like I think that surprised people, caught people off guard in a great way. You know what I mean? So that was like motivation for me too. Like I always like to like flex a different type of style or whatnot, you know what I mean? And then like have it go over well. So that was exciting, you know what I'm saying? So like once I knew we was working, it was just like I had all the motivation necessary, bro, to complete it because you know I was already amped up just from the feature alone. You know what I mean? So once I knew we was doing the whole full project, the work was pretty much cut out because I knew the beats was gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? And like what D said, like that's a good point he made about how many that he sent. A lot of cats will send too much, and I noticed right away that like D was sending only one or two, maybe three, rarely, but it was usually one or two, but they was like spot on. You know what I mean? Like, and it was even like beyond quality over quantity. It was like they were, you could tell that they were curated and like made for the project. They weren't just, they didn't sound like, at least to me, beats that you already just had. Like you sound like you just picked the samples and made shit like with the album in mind, man. You know, I could, and it just
Right.
it made it real easy to create the songs to the beats, for real,
Right.
No,
for
thank you,
sure.
man. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
listening
Very
to all the recent projects that D Styles has produced, I feel that as a DJ, his ear for the music and the artists that he's working with, he presents, you know, the production that he feels caters to those artists.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, whoever I'm working with, I definitely study them, and I go through their whole discography, man. And so with Substance, I went down, listened to all his albums, and I mentally made notes of like, okay, this tempo, this these type of beats, like I like how he rhymes like this. So if I could kind of capture that, but of course, like in my own kind of style, like with the beats.
hmm
But yeah, man, I mean, I think that's our job as a producer to kind of bring that out. And
Hmm.
yeah, like first I'm a fan, of course, and so once I start working with someone, I really go down that rabbit hole, and I really listen to everything that they've done, watch interviews, you know what I mean, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, I remember there was a point in time where I don't know if it was money motives or which one it was, but I was mentioning that I was like more partial to up tempo beats, and
Yeah.
you literally told me, and a lot of producers don't say it, but like at least say it like out of their mouth, like literally. But you were like, yeah, I like how you rhyme on the slower beats.
Hmm.
I think you might have even mentioned a past song from another album. He was like, I like that. I want to hear
Right.
that more. And I had been thinking about that too previously because other people had told me they like how I sound or how I rhyme on a slower tempo beat. And I
Hmm.
just never, and it's not that I dislike them. I just always been more partial to more up tempo beats or mid tempo beats. So even when you said that, I remember being like, yeah, you're right. And going back and listening myself and hearing, the good things about those things. And like I think I even rediscovered like a love for slower tempo beats. And then now it's like it's part of the repertoire now. You know what I mean? Like
Dope.
so I thank you for that, you know what I'm saying? Because I even needed that motivation to dig back in that bag, you know what I'm saying? Per
Wow,
se.
that's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So dope. We got Dango Fourlane from Detroit checking in.
Hey.
Just, re-
Django.
just
Peace,
recently
God.
interviewed him. You know, another talented, multi-talented artist coming out of Michigan.
He'll be
Something in
performing
the
this
water.
Saturday for sure. Absolutely.
It's gonna be a dope show, man, this Saturday for sure.
Swan. It's my guy, man.
Yes, indeed.
Got a lot of talent in Michigan, for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Y'all did that joint on Ty Farris's No Coast.
Oh yeah. The scary
Scary
time.
Hours. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. That was hard. I think we all did that overnight too. Damn near. It was very last minute. That's how it be. That's how it be a lot of times. We need this now. I love those times though. I work better like that. I get verses back quick anyway though.
Yeah.
This is it's the work ethic. I've noticed is a big thing with the cohesion with the two of you. When I was last time D Styles was on here, it was mentioned how quick his turnaround is, and I know Sub, you're the same way. So everything, just pretty much everything worked together.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Definitely. I don't know, what is it? I think that's just how I am. Like it definitely takes the right beat to get me to respond quick. And when I'm the one picking, I'm gonna pick something that's gonna motivate me to for the words to just come out, or like I'm probably already hearing the words already before, when I pick the beat. But more often, like, and more even than that, I think that's just who I am. Because I used to like think like I'm gonna get somebody's verse back quick because I want them to get my verse back quick. But that really doesn't work out too well because everybody creates at a different pace, you know what I'm saying? And if you have that expectation, you could get into some tricky shit, you know what I mean? And maybe feel a way when you're not supposed to.
Right.
So I let that go like years and years ago. I just think it's just part of how I'm programmed now, you know what I mean? Like once it starts going, like once I get the first couple words of the verse, like it's kind of off to the races after that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people I know write like that too, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people I know that work on a lot of multiple stuff at the same time. I think D's the same way too. Like we were both wrapping up stuff before when we were starting ours, like he said,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I always try to match the energy that I'm, with the person that I'm working with. If Sub is writing quick and he send me back files right away, I'll try to bang out my part, my scratches, and I'll send Sub like a rough mix of it, just so we can hear kind of the idea and the concept behind it. So, but if someone's taking 2 or 3 months, then I'll kind of just take my time also. But you know what I mean? Like if someone's sending me stuff back, I feel obligated to kind of match that energy and send them something right back quick.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I think I work the same way with producers too. If they're sending beats quick, it's like I feel like I got to pick the best ones and write the best songs to them. As soon as I'm finished with them, I'm sending the songs back, so we can just keep the cycle going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when the best albums come together, though. I don't feel necessarily it takes a long time to make a good album. I just feel like it coincidentally takes a long time if that's just how it works out. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that's like part of the mandatory recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the things outside of the creation of the music, like the marketing, getting the physicals manufactured and everything else.
Yeah.
The final mixing.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age where you got vinyl deals and all this stuff going on, it may just be simple that the vinyl company putting it out doesn't have a slot until whenever,
Right.
There's not a lot of people that are putting their own vinyl out like we did, like we do, I should say. We're really the minority, I think, honestly. So I think that plays a lot of part in it when something's going to release too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing to talk about because for any independent artist, that is a big thing to drop your album and have the vinyl ready to ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we definitely talked about that. That was one of the first things we talked about, right, D?
Yeah. Yep.
Right after we agreed to do an album, and then I think we figured out the artwork after, and then we figured out the title. And then when we started recording, almost right away, or maybe at least before we were halfway through, we were already talking about doing vinyl, and it wasn't even no talks about a pre-order. Like we both were kind of like against pre-orders. Like me personally, I just don't like them. I think like you owe the fans to have it in hand. Like that's the best thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And then releasing on streaming the same day. Yeah, you know, like
there it is.
There's nothing better than holding it in your hand and having everything timed out like that. It just gives a better experience, in my opinion.
Right.
You know.
I mean, back in the days when it was a release date, you go to the store, it's there.
Yep.
Take the plastic off. There wasn't even no streaming back then.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. That's a whole nother level of appreciation, though. You know, I think we really appreciated it more on a whole another level back then. Because you wasn't really necessarily even driving to the store, depending what age you were, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I might have been riding a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Times change, but just rolling with it.
And keeping with the rollout of the physicals, you also dropped the CD, the cassette, and hoodie.
Yeah. Salute. Absolutely. That was the hoodies were kind of like the last thing. No, actually, I think we definitely decided on the vinyls first, and I want to thank D because when you proposed the idea about splitting up the vinyls, that's what made me split up the cassettes like that.
Oh, okay.
I was just, you know, because I didn't even. It was D's decision to make an alternate, the Japanese alternate, and he already had Nat and Nico in mind already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then to separate the drops too. That was all D. So then when I seen that's how that was happening, then the ideas just started sparking for me, like, oh shit, then I can do 2 different CDs and 2 different tapes. I just had to find the manufacturers that could do it, because they all don't let you do limited amounts, you know.
Right.
Because a lot of people always ask, like, why didn't we do more? You know, I know you probably heard that a lot, D. You know, why didn't you do more vinyl? Why didn't you do more? But I don't know how D feels, but I don't really necessarily care about doing more. Like, I like it to be less. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to saturate the market really. Like, I want it to be like cold, like look like sought after. You know what I mean? Like hard to find. You know what I mean? I think it's better like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we could have done more. Like, obviously. You know what I mean? They sold out in like 5 minutes. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But very humbling, and we just appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's an honor.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you know, like I put out different projects, but this one went the fastest ever. Like, you know, usually it'll sell out in a day or two, but this was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I just saw that, you know, the count, you know, in the Bandcamp, it just went to 0. I was like, oh my god. Crazy.
I've also never dropped that close back to back either. And I remember, because I dropped the Monolithic Era in November, and then I dropped the Definition of Repress in January. And I remember thinking, like, damn, should I drop? Because I knew I was going to drop those like way earlier in 2020 too. Mm-hmm. Like I knew I was going to drop both of those around the time when we said we were going to do He Who Laughs Last. And I remember thinking, like, damn, should I push one of these back? Am I dropping like too many at once? Like, you know, because you always think, at least I do, I always think like people get paid every 2 weeks. Like people only have so much, you know, like money to spend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always never want to I try not to put people in, try to space things out so people aren't in predicaments where they got to make a choice. Like, do I get the new Substance or the new whatever? You know what I mean?
Right.
You can always kind of space it out. But it was surprising, man. Like November, December, and then both our back-to-back drops close together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just appreciate it. You know what I mean? It really speaks volumes, man. You know, and I just salute all the supporters. Like,
yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out Perpetual Stew.
Yeah, shout out Pet Stew.
You did the collaboration, Fair Warning with Widowmaker.
Yeah.
And that came out through the label as well. And
Yeah.
They get the vinyls out fast too, man. Shout
yeah,
out to them.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
I know what that's like, and it's not easy.
Oh, you know what's up, sub. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. They get them out real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
And Oppenheimer's dropping that album at midnight tonight. Y'all definitely better go check that
That's
out.
tonight. No
Yeah.
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah, that drops tonight.
A couple fire singles I heard coming off that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really dope talent on that record, man. A lot of your friends sub on that
Yeah,
record.
I seen they had Rome and Royale
Yeah.
on one song. I think somebody else was on there too.
Um, yeah, there's a song with Maze also, and the Fly
Yep,
Hooligan is on there
yep,
Yeah.
too.
Hmm.
Yep.
yep, yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, they got some heavy hitters on there, man. That's gonna do well, I'm sure.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. We got Even Mad Assassin
Oh,
in the comments.
E, what up?
what's
Well,
up,
what's
E?
up?
Was just talking to E before we got on here. Shout out to my guy, man.
Is E still in Europe or is he back already?
I think he's been back for a little bit,
Okay.
about a week or so. I think XP is still out there though.
Dang. Okay.
Or maybe XP is just getting back now. XP stayed out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and XP went off on that, the last laugh track.
Man,
Yeah.
that was a fun one to do. I remember knowing that I wanted them both on there after I recorded my verse. I usually always get E on pretty much every project, man. That's kind of like something we both do since we met a few years ago. But that's a really fun joint, man. That's one of my favorites for sure. Top 3 off the album if I had to really pick.
Yeah, definitely. And I was hyped that we shot a video for that one too. Like, and it just so happened, everyone was in town, and everything worked out, man.
It looked like we was in 2 different places, but we wasn't super far.
All right.
You know, we were in Los Angeles at least for both of them. But
Yeah.
that was probably one of my favorite video shoots to do.
Oh, word.
We weren't doing like nothing crazy, but it's just like the camaraderie or whatnot. You know what I mean? And
Right.
just being out and just finding the perfect spots. Like when we went up on the parking structure, it was like pure golden hour. We didn't plan it at all. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
because we shot 2 in a day.
Mhm.
We just happened to get done with the other one and get back from Koreatown and get downtown at that perfect time. As soon as we walked up, I remember looking at the sun like, damn, shit was fucking golden. Perfect, man. It was
Good
meant to
timing.
be. Yeah, for sure.
Man, I wanted to go eat with you guys too afterwards. I had to fly back, but you guys look like you guys had it was a good day.
Yeah, man. I forgot what we had. Korean barbecue or something like that, but it was good as hell.
Yeah, I think you guys went to Little Tokyo or something like afterwards.
Yeah. It was good. You could see it in the video real quick with the flicks that Mark. Shout out to Mark.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other features on here. And I've been big in Maze Overlay for a minute now, and I'm happy to see him keep shining. He was also out in Brooklyn during the supply and demand when you were out there. So
yeah. Shout out to my dude Maze, man. We was actually all staying in the same room on some behind the scenes shit. Like me, Mickey, Maze, fucking we was all in the same room in Brooklyn down there on Malcolm X. But that was a fucking dope ass weekend. I actually got a song about that whole weekend featuring Maze. It's coming out soon, you know what I mean, on my next project. But that was a really dope weekend, man. A first time for like a lot of us. Like first time we did supply and demand. It's first time in Brooklyn for some of us. It's first time just moving around like that, you know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen the video that I was in that Maze put out. The what was it called? I think it was Trafficante.
Yeah.
When he was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
We shot that when we were down there. You know, that was like 4 a.m. That was the night before supply and demand. You know what I mean? Like we had to get up, be at the venue at like 12 the next day. Like we didn't get back to the room until like 5, 6 a.m. or something like that.
Dang.
It was making memories, man. But that was a great time, man. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to Mickey.
Fried cheesecake.
Fried cheesecake. Yeah, we missed out on that. It's a lot of it down there, though. We was fried. If I think that's what he said. We was definitely fried cheesecake for sure.
Yeah, I could tell. Maze is like a hardcore, like a foodie, right? Because he's always rapping about
Yeah,
like about the
he can actually cook
Michelin
too.
stars and word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
He
can
cooks
cook for
too.
sure.
Oh
Oh yeah,
wow. Okay.
like in the video, if you look, peep his knife hand. Like he, yeah,
Oh
he can cook for sure. I
okay.
forgot what he cooked that day, but he cooked the dish up something crazy and asked if we want to take it, and somebody ended up taking it home. But yeah,
Dang.
Maze knows his way around the kitchen. He just
Wow.
knows food in general. You know what I mean? He's definitely a foodie for sure.
Right.
I remember because we did the Chinatown episode that weekend too. A lot of shit
Yeah,
happened that
that's right.
weekend. We did that weekend, and then me, Maze, Mickey, Bub, Styles, I forget who else, man. We all went out to eat at some place in Chinatown real late that night, and we was all talking food that night too. Like that
Yeah.
was my first time being at a round table that, you know how they got put the big plate in the middle and you can just spin it
Oh,
for
the
whoever wants.
lazy Susan.
Yeah,
That's what it's called. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I didn't even know that. Only Lazy Susan I knew was in her kitchen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a legendary night, man. But we found out that we all like food that night.
Dope.
Spicy beef we had that night and shit like that. It was good.
Yeah. Right.
Nice. Nice.
No doubt.
You got one timepiece with a statement, more of a question too. He said, for live hip hop shows, we need more scratchers and turntablist musicians on stage with rappers. Absolutely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
man. I
Definitely.
think more rappers need their own DJ. Period. More rapper DJ duos. Period. But definitely more live scratching and turntablism during the shows, bro. For sure.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
think that's missing, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring that back, man. You know, like I come from the school of DJ Premier, so to me, that's just the ultimate combination is a dope DJ and a dope MC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That's when I
Yeah.
felt I was always making the best music when I connected with a dope ass DJ. And if the DJ was a producer, you know, like D is, like it's even more next level.
Yeah.
But looking back, when I was making great music, it was always a great DJ involved in it, even if it was just scratching. Shout out to DJ Grasshopper, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
we done a lot of work together, you know. That's my guy, man. But I can't wait to we talk about it all the time, and the time will come soon to go over there to Europe, you know what I mean, and possibly like
Yeah.
wreck a show with him, you know what I mean? Like me and D go over there,
Yeah, that
like
would be big.
it's coming, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's I'm just appreciative, bro, because like I said, I was hype off the feature. I did the album. I delivered on my end. I'm hype off the album. If we perform anywhere, domestically or internationally, come on, man, bucket list. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm just happy, man. I'm excited to see what's next, man. You know,
Yeah. For sure.
no
Yeah.
doubt.
It's gonna
And
happen. It's gonna happen.
I
Yeah,
know
it's
when
just,
you check the demographics on who's been buying the physicals, you see there's a lot over in different European countries.
honestly, like, I don't know, like what pets do, what the um what the demographic was like, but like I'd probably say if I had to put a number on it, man, 80, maybe 90% of my shipments go to Europe, like just
Dang.
international period, at least
Hmm.
80. I was looking up the
Wow.
percentages like earlier, at least 80. Almost to the point where I'm surprised, like if I get like a weird place domestically, like I'll notice it. You know what I mean? Like I could be shipping 100 orders, but if I get an order from like South Dakota or something, I'll be like, oh damn. You know, because I know where my domestic orders are. They're like California, New York, North Carolina. There might be like a couple other things sprinkled in, but it's like some main places.
Yeah.
But like when a Rhode Island pops in, or like I think the other day, man, I seen something. it was like Oklahoma or something where I was like, I didn't even know they listened to hip hop there. Like I'm sure they do, but when I seen the state, I just couldn't believe it. Like it wasn't nothing like Oklahoma either. It was somewhere like way farther than that. But it's just dope, man, to be able to. I remember a time where you couldn't even sell. I personally couldn't even sell all the CDs like that I pressed up, you know, way back in the day. I remember when we were like burning our own CDs,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and writing on them with Sharpie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so to be able to like talk to manufacturers and press up my own vinyl and all this, man, and my mail lady was just telling me the other day, like, just commenting on how much stuff be on the porch and she can't believe it and stuff like that because she's been the same mail lady for years. Like she remember when it used to be like barely nothing. I didn't even
Dang.
make a pickup, you know. So it's dope to see that, man.
That's
You
dope.
know,
That's
yeah,
dope.
it's dope as hell, man.
So
Shout
we
out to all the international supporters, domestic
definitely
people as
e-
well.
even in Asia, man, we ship to Taiwan, Korea.
Yeah, it's
We got a
crazy.
bunch in Japan, um, Indonesia out there. So yeah, man. I mean, it's like I think it's just a beautiful thing that in this day and age, like us as artists can sell directly, you know, to our fans. You know what I mean? To the people that love this music. We don't have to depend on a distributor anymore. We can sell direct, and like that's just such a game
Mhm.
changer now.
Bro, and it made me think about something, just what you said. Like I remember like the different levels of being surprised. Like first I remember being surprised that everything was selling out, period.
Hmm.
Then I remember being surprised that it was so much international. And
Right.
then I remember like mostly being surprised. Like what surprises me now still is like when you mention Asia, like there will be people that order from Japan
Hmm.
and they'll maybe order 6 vinyl at a time sometimes.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll order like 6 Obies or 3 Obies and 3 standard ones. And I remember the first time when somebody from Japan or just Asia in general or Australia, because them two seem to be a little bit more than most places.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I got an order like where they order multiple vinyls, and the shipping was almost more than like one time the shipping was more
Hmm.
than the actual vinyls were, and
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there just I was in disbelief. I'm like, they
Yeah.
really want the music that like they really want to support the music that much
Yeah.
that they don't care about the shipping costs because
Right.
there's some people that can't purchase the music because the shipping so much.
Yeah.
um or I've even seen people like pay for expedited, you know what I mean, like the
Dang.
shipping will already be expensive and then they'll go the next step and pay for expedited because they just want it that fast.
Right.
These type of things just blow my mind, you know what I mean, like I can't believe it, you know what I mean, and it's humbling that somebody wants your music that much, you
Right.
know what I mean, like
Yeah.
for those type of people, like I'm always giving out discount codes and doing whatever I can. You know what I mean? I might even toss in a vinyl or something because it's just it's amazing, man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
really appreciate it because it wasn't always like that. And technology just made it so, man. And it's dope. You know what I mean? It's
True that.
dope.
Absolutely. Speaking of supporters, Brandon Winters is from North Carolina. He said he bought 2 copies.
So what's up, Brandon?
Salute to Brandon, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
man.
NC. I've been seeing a lot of people tap in from NC. That's where Edom Mad Assassin is from, actually, originally.
Mm-hmm.
That's
He
right.
lives in
Yeah.
LA now, but he's from NC. I've been seeing a lot of people tap in. I actually had a female purchase a cassette. You know how people tag you in a story,
Hmm.
and I remember being surprised, like all whatever aside, I just didn't expect to see nails. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like the video comes up and he's turning the cassette around and I see the nails and I'm like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
dope. And
Right.
she's a black woman too, so I see the black hand and the nails and I'm like, oh shit, that's dope. And you got the tape, okay, that's fire. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because it's always interesting to see who collects what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
all ages, man. Like it'll be all different types of people. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll get like a Wall Street guy or
Right.
a hip hop looking guy. You know what I mean? A guy that looks like he's 50 something, guy that looks like he's 20 something. Like
Yeah, you never know.
you never know.
You can't put a label on it. Yep.
Yeah.
The demographics will tell you later, but it's just crazy to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I'm getting used to it all, bro. It's all still surreal to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember one of the documentaries last year of Rome Streets when he was touring in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the fans had, a lot of the vinyl, his earliest stuff.
That's crazy when they come up. That's what I can't wait to see. I think that's what I want to perform in Europe like more than anything, really. No disrespect to where I live and where I grew up over here, but I want to perform over there way more, I just want to see like who has the vinyl. I just want to sign it in person. I just want to shake these people's hands, take pictures, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a whole nother feeling. I seen that as supply and demand, You came up with a lot of vinyl for me to sign. A lot of stuff I signed twice because I had already signed it. And it's just crazy seeing that. It's like full circle, you know what I'm saying? And I'll also be thinking like, man, I know people get to say that $28 shipping. I can't wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come with a suitcase full, man. We're gonna make it worth it.
Hey, you know what's up though? You got to be careful because when you go through customs and they see you have merch, they're gonna try to tax you.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they know, like, you're gonna come out there and sell that. So
Yeah.
So yeah, just watch out. Don't bring too much because they'll try to tax
So
you.
you're telling me I gotta order a bunch of promotional use only stickers before I go? That's
You go.
You do ship it ahead of time to, like, if you got a homie
that's
out there,
right.
ship it to them and then pick it up. You know what I mean? When you land, like afterwards.
Yeah, that's worth it, huh?
Yeah, it is worth it, man. Because you don't
They're
want to
gonna
get taxed
tax you
on that.
way more than whatever shipping costs.
They'll hit you
That's
hard.
a good point.
Yeah, man.
That's a good point.
That's good. Brandon Winters had a question. He was saying, do you guys feel weird about someone like myself that buys an extra copy or two so I can pay to support artists and get a cool record to play for people?
No.
That's
Me
all love,
personally,
man.
I don't. We had a conversation about that. I think I don't mind speaking candid. You mind speaking about that?
No, yeah, it's all good. It's all good, sir.
I remember D text me and he was like, because the first drop we didn't allow this. If I now that I know if I'm understanding it right, a lot of times like what was it? Was it one per customer for the OB and then the second time around I think it was just one per customer period, right?
Two maximum.
Okay,
was what
so
it
it
was.
was two max the first drop.
Yeah.
One per customer on OB period on both drops.
Right.
And I remember D asking me on the second drop, do we want to take the two copy per limit,
Mm-hmm.
2 copy per person limit off? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if people buy 1, 2, 3, what they do with them. I remember joking and saying it's all good for the ecosystem.
Right.
But it is, you know what I mean? Like, and if you want it in whatever reason you want it for, it's all good, you know what I mean? Like if you can sell a copy, get a copy for free, of course, like it's love, you know what I mean? Like it all comes back around, you know what I mean? Like that leaves you with more support in the future to come back with. So it's all love, man. You know what I mean? Like I've never been one of those people that's like heavy on the hating on the reselling and all that type of stuff. I don't even try to pay attention to it much. I'm aware of it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my kids got to eat as well. You know what I'm saying? So if something goes up, I can't cheat myself either. So you kind of got to know the balance and be aware. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely not negative or, have a hate with it. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I don't feel weird. It's all love.
Right.
But just to see your own record being sold for hundreds of dollars,
it's crazy.
It's unbelievable, man.
I think the original cover already, somebody put it up for like 500s, and then the Japanese one was like 6 something.
Damn.
I couldn't believe it, man. And that was like a week after, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's the craziest thing too, because when people list it, it's literally them, saying what they think it's worth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially the first person. And if the first person goes high like that, it speaks a lot. Because then everybody else after that's kind of either got to match that or you kind of want to, you know what I mean? Like come a little lower if you want to sell it quicker. You know what I mean? Like that starts after that. But that first person who sets the tone, man, they say a lot. You know what I mean, and what they think about the album. So
Right.
some people may look at that how they look at it, but I look at it like a compliment, man. It's dope. You know, people just
Definitely.
forget. They just forget when they couldn't sell all the CDs. You know what I mean? They forget those times. You know what I mean?
I know, right? I just
Yeah,
feel bad because I know there was cats that that really wanted to cop the record too, but they were at work or
yeah,
whatever, and they just couldn't, get to Bandcamp in time. But yeah, I'm not mad at it, man. It's
yeah,
all love too, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's the only bad part about it. I collect too, though. I've been there. You know what I mean? You just got to take your losses. But I
Right.
hate when it's mine when somebody miss out on mine, because I've missed before on a drop I want, a couple drops that I've wanted real bad. So I know how it feels. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? There's a lot of
And
people
this,
that take care of each other though.
yeah, this album was blessed with extended versions and instrumentals, like you did
Hmm.
with Creme de la Creme.
Yeah. 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 I mean, like I feel that's important as far as like the DJ culture. As DJs, it's sometimes it's tough to play certain songs because there's not enough lead time to mix in. Sometimes you have to just scratch it in, and so I'm trying to think a couple steps ahead. And as a DJ, back in the days when we get those promo 12 inches, they would always have these extended versions,
Hmm.
or the instrumental or a dub version. And so like as a DJ, you just appreciate these extra things. And so like we're just trying to give back, and it definitely helps. You know what I mean? Like our songs were getting played, on Sirius XM radio a lot,
Yeah,
Trackstar,
yeah.
Eclipse. You know what I mean?
James Vico. Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to
yeah,
them for
yeah. So
sure. What you call it? Static Selector.
Static
Yeah,
Selector, yeah, man.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I definitely. I remember appreciating that too, D. That was the first time actually too
Mm,
that I've ever got extended versions
okay,
and the instrumentals like that. Just you know what I'm saying, like automatically, and it made it so easy, bro. Because a lot
right,
of times, like DJs want that, and even getting the clean versions was easy. Even getting the show versions was easy. A lot of
right,
times, it's not so easy. You know what I mean? Like, or you got to ask for it and wait for it after the fact.
right.
But I had everything on deck. I haven't had. There hasn't been nothing that somebody asked me for that I didn't just have already. So
hmm
I
Dope,
appreciate that, man,
dope. Yeah,
for
man, for
sure.
sure.
It makes it easy to move around. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely learned from the past that just to kind of have all this stuff prepped. You know what I mean? Well, yeah. For this one, we didn't. I think only for the singles I made clean versions, but
yeah, yeah,
just trying to think like two steps ahead and get these versions mastered and have
mhm,
instrumentals ready. And like for example, Sub has a show this Saturday, so like we had to prep a show version. You know what I mean, for him,
yeah, yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
no doubt. Lucky Minds is easy though. I don't rap over vocals
Mm.
like some of y'all out there.
Oh man.
tell us
Some
about
people.
yeah. Tell us about the upcoming show.
Shout out to the old Miami. There's no promoter involved or anything. I've been talking to him for a while. My dude, shout out to Pat 313. Actually, he's actually involved with Detroit rap as well. But shout out to Pat 313. He linked me with
Heavy, yeah,
with the venue. He linked me with the old Miami. But it's just a dope ass venue, man. Where all the traditional type hip hop that we love. You know what I'm saying? Like the lyrical heavy type shit. Um, that's like where a lot of the shows happen at, and I always wanted to do a show there. I've never done a show on my own in Detroit. Every time I performed and I had a set on a show, it was somebody else's. So this is like my first official show in Detroit. And I'm not even from Detroit, so it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always lived an hour or so outside and grew up outside of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a Detroit native. So to get my own show means a lot and be able to bring who I want on the show and bring my guys through for us to rock out, have our own night. is just dope, man. You know what I mean? You got guys, you know, my dude Jamil, J Royale, DJ Logic, he's DJing the whole night. They're all coming down. They're driving down from Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Um, Big Trip is performing. That's my umbrella brother. Mac Nice is performing. My umbrella brother. Mickey Diamond's performing. You know, my brother for Umbrella as well. You know, all of us is on the show. You know, Ty Ferris is hosting it. It's gonna be a dope ass night. You know what I'm saying? Like my dude 37 Shield. He used to have a record store downtown in
That's right.
Eastern
Yeah.
Market for a long time. You know what I mean? He's online now. You can still find him online, but he's gonna run the merch table. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So he's gonna have everything because a minute ago I gave him like a bunch of my titles. So he's gonna have a bunch of my titles on vinyl. Ty's bringing a bunch of his stuff. All the other artists is bringing their stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of merch that night. It's gonna be a dope night, man. Doors open at 9. It's only $5 at the door. You know what I'm saying? Real easy. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the first Saturdays. They haven't been doing Saturdays for a while. They just started doing them this year. So I think they only had a couple this year so far or whatever. So Saturdays is always better than something through the week. You know what I mean? More people free up. So it's gonna be a dope night, man. Bar
It's gonna,
heavy.
it's gonna be packed, man. Shit.
Yeah, man.
$5.
Probably got some people coming up from Port Huron too. It's not too far away. So I know a lot of my people from back home gonna come through. But yeah, $5.
Right.
Can't beat it, man.
Dang.
It's like a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These styles, you know, just recently had a album release party with Jay Cyanide.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the album came out in December, and you know, so this kind of listening party was after the fact. But you know, he happened to just be in town, and so we just try to plan that ahead of time. He did something in Brooklyn at Beer Wax out there in Brooklyn. But I wasn't able to make it. But yeah, he was coming out to LA, so we just did something real quick.
Right.
But we actually shot another video. Because we had one song that we didn't put on the album, and actually Fat Beats is gonna repress the album we did, and they wanted a bonus song. So we're putting this bonus song on the vinyl, and then he was like, "Let's just shoot a video since I'm going to be out there anyway." So we shot a video for this bonus song, but since it's coming out through Fat Beats, it'll probably, I don't know, probably won't be out for another 4 to 6 months, maybe something like that.
Fire.
Yeah.
So it's like a repress with a bonus.
Yeah, it's a double record. So one is the album, side A, side B, and then the next the second record is all the instrumentals on it.
There we go.
It's a double album. Yeah.
You guys doing new art, or can you say yet, or what?
No, it's gonna be the same art. We're just doing yeah. Fat Beats didn't want to redo it. They just wanted to keep it the same.
That's fire, bro.
So yeah.
Probably gonna get the gatefold treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I hope.
Who knows, man?
I know, right?
I never used to I didn't know that there was different styles of 2 LPs until I really started buying records. I thought all 2 LPs, like when I was younger, always came in the gatefold. I didn't know that was special. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I started buying records, and then I ordered a 2 LP one day, and it came, and I took the plastic off, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, they opening it up. I'm like, but they're both here. I'm like, oh shit, they're all not like that. I thought it was just standard.
Right. Man, gatefolds cost a lot to make.
Now I know. Yeah. Now I know.
Right.
Now that I started manufacturing, I looked into it. I'm like, yeah, it's not cheap at all.
Yeah, it's pricey.
Yeah. Minimums too. Yeah, that's really what does it.
Right.
What's one of the best parts of making this album together for the two of you?
I'll let you go first, D. I need to think.
Man, I mean, you know, just all this, you know, anticipation, like, you know, of us recording it, you know, the mixing process, getting it back, and just getting the final product, you know, like I'm able to open the box and look at the record and you know, and just feel like wow, like we made it to the finish line. You know what I mean? It's you know, like we you made the record pretty quick, but just to see the final product and hold it, you know what I mean, is everything. And then, you know, the whole rollout of everything. And then, you know, when people tag you, you know, in the photos, you know, when they finally get the record, it's like, wow, like, you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is like a dream come true, man. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it means everything to me, man, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's kind of like. I can't pick one favorite part. I got three favorite parts. Like I love the part when I'm making it, when I'm in the midst of making it, and I'm halfway through, or I'm at that point where I realize, like, damn, yeah, this shit's coming together.
Yeah.
Like we're executing. That's definitely a favorite part. And then the next favorite part is like when I get the master back, especially how D gives you the master back. Because sometimes you get the master back in individual tracks, and you got to click through. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But D give you the master in one waveform. You know what I'm saying? So you're really able to hear how everything flows together.
Mhm.
And I remember the first time playing it, and I always play it from top to bottom. And I was driving for hours. I think I was going to Olean, man. Shout out to Chuck Chan and Deuce. I think I was driving up there, so I was driving like 7 hours. So I let the album play like 3, 4, 5 times back to back. And I just remember thinking, like, damn, this shit just flows so perfect. So that was the second time where I was just like, where I had that feeling inside where, like, yeah, I think this is gonna hit how it's supposed to. Like, I think people are gonna receive this how we intend. Cause you never know, you know what I mean? Like, first you're creating, and then you're like, you have a desire to create, you know, like what you intended, like what you know, what you're planning in your head. You want to make that reality, and then it's like when you got it all together and it's actually like comes to fruition, you got that feeling of pride of like, yeah, I really think people gonna get what we're like trying to put together. And then I think that the third feeling is what D said, when you see people receive it. You know what I mean? And people start tagging you. You see all the countries popping up. Like that's the dopest part. And if I had to pick one, that's probably the best feeling. Like just seeing where it all lands at and who got
Yeah.
what and where they are. You know what I mean? And what else they listen to and shit like that.
Right.
And people are hitting you up immediately and saying they can't wait till what's next. You know what I mean? That's always crazy. Me and Mickey joke about that a lot. You know, your album will drop that day, and they'll hit you with the DM like, "Man, I can't. I'm like, what's coming next? I can't wait." And you're like, "Yo, that shit just dropped today." Like, but it's fire, man. Like,
People
you
can't get
know,
enough, so you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's
it's
crazy.
dope as hell, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Right.
that's what fuels. You know, I know me and Mickey talk about that a lot. You know, like that's what fuels us to create so much. You know, at such a because it's not easy at all, bro. Like I know you can relate to this, D, making beats
Hmm.
and even turntablism. Like it's not easy to do a lot at a high level. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
a lot of times, I see a lot of artists, and it seems like, at least from my point of view, that they, like some things get sacrificed. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of times when I'm working on multiple projects at once, or just working on a project, period, I'm always thinking like, I can't sacrifice no quality,
Right.
even if it takes more time, or even if I gotta stay in the studio longer, or keep revisiting that certain one. Like I can't sacrifice the quality. Like the bar always got to stay up here, you know. So when people hit you like that and they hungry for it, it definitely fuels that. It makes it easier to keep coming back and reaching higher heights every time. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy for sure, man. You need that constant motivation.
Yeah.
So thank y'all,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
no doubt.
And the the mind, the creative mind always has something signature. And Sub, you almost always do this with some of your projects. You had the on the Making Waves, you had the hologram.
Mm.
And on this one, you had the Joker card. I don't know if you
Yeah,
Oh
see
yeah,
yeah.
it well.
yeah, yeah. I always try to do something. Ever since Desolate Lands, when I did the Legos, And then monolithic era, I did like a little Lego boulder. But ever since I did the Legos, just something in me was like, damn, I gotta always want to do something different. You know what I mean? With each drop.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna lie, me, Mickey Diamond, Ty Ferris, we live in the same place and we always hanging out. So it's like a mini competition of who gonna have the fucking sickest idea of some like merch that hasn't been made yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Like Ty just put out a digital scale. It's upstairs right now, but it's got his logo engraved in it. You know what I mean? We're always doing crazy shit, right? Like Mickey just had a pop-up vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so we always not only always trying to top each other, but I think when I thought of that, I was just thinking, what cool can I do? And Joker is one of them things where it's like, damn, there were so many fucking options. Like I was looking for bang guns and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like as merch, but the card was just one of the things that I wanted to do the most. And it was honestly turned out to be really, really difficult, man. Like shout out to my guy Chad. He actually lives here where I grew up in Port Huron. But a lot of people don't know how hard it is to do a card because those are actual playing cards. You know what I mean? Like it's not like we made them on a big sheet and cut them. You know what I mean? Like I bought them blank and then printed my image on them.
Oh shit!
So that was the problem for a lot of printers. They couldn't print that small. But my guy back home, luckily, where I grew up, it's a really small town, but we know how to hustle. And my guy, he invested in himself. He believed in himself in his printing business, and he got this big crazy printer that whoever would have. You know what I mean? Like whatever business would have. And he believes in what I'm doing, and he made a stencil. You know what I'm saying? Like these other big places were telling me we can't do it unless it's crazy amounts, and we're doing big sheets of them, and we can't print that small. And it was all because they didn't care enough to be meticulous to make a stencil, to make a template, so they could do it. You know what I mean? And right away he told me, "Oh, I know what I can do. I'll make this template," and he got it done. And I looked through a lot of people to try to do it. So shout out to my guy, man. Shout out to my guy Chad. You know what I mean? He can print pretty much anything you need. So if anybody need his plug, holla at me. But I was when I first got him in my hand, it was dope, man. You know, I thought about getting the protectors and stuff later when I thought about shipping them, but it was dope because it's only 52 of them. You can collect it. You can throw it in your deck if you want. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. Right. You're not gonna disrespect me if you throw the signed card in the deck and play with it. That's actually kind of dope. You got to have jokers in the deck somehow. So you know, yeah.
Man. At some point, I hope the two of y'all do a show together where D is DJing and you're MCing.
I hope so too, man. Shit.
I'm sure it's coming. We just don't know how soon. We was just talking about it.
Yeah.
Saying we you know, I hope to Europe is coming soon or whatnot, or maybe something domestically, but for sure, man. D stays in Vegas. I stay in Michigan. So you know, any promoter that's watching or anybody that know a promoter, get to type and get to calling.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
It's only a matter of time though, for sure.
Yep.
Dope. Only other thing we really didn't talk about is the artwork. You had the two covers, and I remember from Creme de la Creme you had the two covers.
Yeah.
So I chose. So when I came up with the first idea, my guy Jad Nawari, he's from Indonesia. He did Desolate Lands. He did Monolithic Era as well. When I thought of the first cover idea, when I seen the movie image, it was Heath Ledger out the window, like with his hair in the air. That's what inspired that first cover that Jad did. So I picked Jad, had Jad do that. We were initially gonna pick somebody else, that like a black and white artist.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't recall your homie. What was his name?
He's in the UK. Damn, I forgot.
He's like he did like a black and white.
It
wasn't typography, but more black and white, minimal. But had Ja do that, and then Ja got it done, and it was all complete and done. And then D said, "Oh, I'm gonna have Nada Nico do the Japanese alternate version, like straight up like that from off the rip." And that's when I was like, "Oh shit, this shit's about to get real." You know what I mean? And then he killed it too. We had a little bit of like it's definitely intentional with the face being twisted up.
Mhm.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a conversation, you know, and we seen that ahead of time because me and D have both been through shit here and there in the past when we didn't want to have to go through no dumb stuff and taking it down and putting it back up or anything. So had to
Yeah.
distort the face a little bit, but yeah, man, he knocked that out the park, bro, and he did the Obi as well. Um,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe how he executed the idea because I remember saying I wanted to look like a Joker card, but I didn't know how somebody was going to execute it because it's so long.
Right.
So I'm thinking like, how are you going to make it, you know, drive that through? And he did so well, man. He did great. He did really great. You know,
Yeah, man.
It-
He's like the king of the Obies right now. Like he's doing Obies for
Mhm.
like Crime Apple and I mean, you know,
yeah.
all kinds of cats, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nat and Nico for sure, man.
Yeah, man.
Dope with it.
We got a question in the chat related to the covers. It said both the covers are super dope. Can you put out posters?
Oh shit. It's
Sure.
possible, right?
Yeah, we can. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
It's
What's
not
up,
a problem.
Akis? Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I love. I got a lot of stuff. Shit, I would like to put them up on my wall myself. So why not? I always like to see a print,
Mm-hmm.
a framed. I would, me personally, I'd rather do a framed print or a framed poster rather than a rolled up print that somebody has to go and frame after. I'd rather give it to you a frame print or a framed poster, you know, because me and D both use manufacturers that offer that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
That's a good idea, shit.
yeah,
There
it's
you
really
go.
good. It's real easy to do too. So I would say that's probably a good likelihood that that'll happen. It's a good
Mm,
question.
Yeah.
that's dope. Mm, mm, mm. It, you got
Good
any,
question for sure.
yeah, got y'all thinking, and like you said, y'all both know
It's very
companies.
easy.
Yep,
It's very easy to do.
a lot of people
Trying to
like
think
that.
what we haven't covered yet. Touched on almost everything.
So man, you're like the you got really good ideas for merch, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ian, I mean, I was following Sub's lead. Like he was like, "Hey, check this out. What if we get this done and that done?" And he would send me pictures, and I'd get all excited, like, "Oh man, that's dope, man!" And you know, it's like it's just it's
Yeah,
crazy because he's always thinking steps ahead on
Right, right.
on merch
Mm-hmm.
and the
yeah.
rollout and the video, you know. So shout out to Substance for all that stuff, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Yeah, I don't
even
know. I don't know how it happened, but
putting your logos on the sleeve like that.
yeah, look at
People
that.
don't do that.
Right.
yeah, I know it's more the manufacturer definitely gives you the option to do it. So I guess that's a big part of it is being aware and knowing that I even can. But I think man, I'm just fortunate. I brung Mickey Diamond and Ty Ferris up a lot, man. But I'm fortunate, you know what I'm saying, because we think very similar. Like we're all creative, but we're very business minded too.
Mm-hmm.
So we all understand the importance of being creative, doing the next thing that hasn't been done, and the importance of that, and like topping yourself, but also the importance of like branding too,
Yeah.
and like how they both go hand in hand. So like I think I'm just fortunate, man, that we all are. There's not a lot of ego involved at all. We're all always talking to each other, and I think that's a benefit that a lot of artists don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think a lot of artists have such creative, business-minded artists around them that have no problem sharing ideas. We'll be talking about what we're doing 6 months or the next year, you know, with each other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I just appreciate it, man. And I think that's where a lot of the ideas come up. You know what I mean? Because I always know one of them is gonna do something crazy. So I have to do something crazy too. You know what I'm saying? And it's fun, man. It makes it fun. I think nowadays it's all a package to me. Like I could never just roll out an album and like say it would feel weird at this point to just put an album out and put it out on streaming and that's it. It would
Yeah.
feel weird. I'd feel like I did something wrong.
Mm.
If something else didn't come out physically, it would feel like weird. Like it wouldn't even feel right. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? At this point in time, you know?
And shout out to you, Sub, with the creativity. I've been saying for the longest with QR codes that they should be putting it on clothing. And you went and did it with your logo on the stickers.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. They're around a lot. They're around a lot. Who knows who's sticking those things up?
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to do it for a while, but Instagram. Shout out to Instagram for that. You know, you'll go through your news feed and they'll suggest things that it thinks you like. And I seen some sticker company, they had stickers that were made like that, but it was a little bit different and they kind of charge you more. But I just like made a rectangular sticker and just went in Photoshop and kind of just made that design.
Mhm.
But it works good, man. I've seen I only got like 250 of them or something, but I've seen the results already. I'll see random followers coming from places that I know are around the area where I put the sticker at, you know, or where I gave somebody some stickers to put out at, you know,
Wow.
because that's one thing I always used to forget. Like I always got stickers made because I used to ride bicycles a lot, like pedal bikes. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be like in a bike crew. So we always used to be riding around, slapping stickers everywhere. So I always knew like you got to have stickers on you at all times to slap somewhere. But where I always failed was putting something on it to where people knew, you know what I mean, like where to follow me or like to where actually what the
Right,
sticker
right,
was. It'd be a dope ass image, but then I always thought like you would never know where to go. You know what I mean? Like if you
Right.
just seen the Joker, it'd just be a Joker. Like the stickers we made with the Joker on them, I was gonna get some little QR codes to stick on them. I just didn't have time. I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
get some little QR codes made to actually stick on them. But it works real good, man. And that's just easy branding. Like, why wouldn't you do it? So I
yeah,
appreciate it. Like,
Right.
dope, dope. Mm-mm-mm. Substance and D Styles, dope album together.
I
Y'all, D Styles, man, you continue to, put a smile on my face every time I see your name, continuously with the production on the credits right now.
Thank you, man.
Coming up, Visible Scratch Pickles and the Beat Junkies, and then just continuously seeing you now. And I always say this: there's no age for hip hop. I don't
Right.
care what anybody says. And I love to see when artists, producers, DJs of different generations working together.
yeah, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I was saying, like I really got back into making beats during the pandemic, and for a while, I actually stopped listening to a lot of hip hop, just because I mean, a lot of the stuff that I heard, was just all the all the trap stuff. But
Mhm.
I didn't really go down the rabbit hole of like all the indie hip hop, and so I like I like basically fell in love with hip hop again when I started listening to all kinds of stuff, like from Griselda to Rome Streets, you know
Mm.
what I mean? And that took me to Noah the Flood and Substance and you know what I mean? So on and so on, man. There are so many dope artists. And like I was saying earlier, man, I'm still hungry to do this. And I'm just fortunate that I'm meeting cats that are willing to work with me. You know what I mean?
Man,
Yo,
I'm
that
grateful.
reminds me of something. Like, I remember being surprised, D, like, and Royale too,
Hmm.
because um, you've been doing it even longer than me. But like, I think I put up my first album on like streaming in like 2006,
Yeah.
and even before then, like, I was signed on an independent label around 2000. shit, 2000, 2003. And I remember like my first experiences going like touring and meeting radio people and even meeting other artists. And sometimes you get to meet people who you idolize, shit, or
Mm.
just people who you know are in the industry or bigger. And I just remember being so surprised, bro, at like how normal you and Redmatic were, bro. Like it blew my mind. Like I don't remember if you remember, like we were in the alley, we were shooting the Shoeboxes video,
Right.
and we had all just met like 10, 15 minutes ago. And we learned to like stop calling y'all legend like real quick. Like, cause it was like we would say something and then we'd be like, man, like, cause we just, in the moment when you first meet somebody, you kind of just there and you talking out loud, and we kind of like, man, it was good to meet you, dog. It's an honor, y'all legends.
Right.
And we would say that, and y'all would kind of just be like, even like blush at like be embarrassed a little bit, and I'm sitting there looking like, you tell other people that, and you get this kind of like, most times, pretty much every other time where that talk has kind of happened, it's kind of met with a response of like, yeah, I know,
Mm.
or a cocky or air of confidence at the least. That
Right.
was the very first time like where I seen actual legends in my face, like just like, ah, like let's shoot the vid, like, or just it was the most humbling thing I ever seen in my life, man. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Like, and it was just really dope to see, bro. And it
Oh
taught me a lot.
man.
You know what I mean, about how to carry myself, like no matter what. Um,
Oh, thank
because
you,
like I
man.
said, there's a lot of shit I'm still getting used to. People still message me and tell me they're surprised I replied and surprised I followed back, and
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't even look at it like that. You know what I mean? So like when I had that experience that day, it kind of like made me see like, oh, yeah, supporters may look at me like that, and I just got to accept it and move like, you know, in a professional manner. You know what I mean? With pride. You know what I mean? And just,
Right.
it's a dope thing to see, bro. You know what I mean? That you
Right.
at that level, all these years later, that you're still moving like that.
Yeah.
It's commendable, man.
Oh man, thank you.
Really.
I never really look at myself in that type of light, man. You know what I mean? I'm just like you. We're just normal people, man, and you know what I mean. I was intimidated, you know, just kind of meeting you guys. You know what I mean? Because I've always listened to you guys' music, and so it's like, oh shit, we're in
Wow.
person now, and plus, I think I smoked a little bit, so I was a little bit like, paranoid maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
it was a yeah, it
Wow.
was a great day. You know what I mean? And just like it's one thing to like work with someone and you just go back and forth through emails, or like I think we jumped on a Zoom maybe once or twice, but like to
Hmm.
meet in person and yeah, man, that was dope, man. It was a great day,
That's crazy, man. To
Yeah.
hear that to hear that you had like felt any type of nervousness is just wild.
Right.
I like hearing different sides of it. That's just crazy, man. Like,
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna text Royale and tell him that, he's gonna be like, "What?"
man, I didn't know Jay Royale was so funny. Like he's such a funny
Oh
dude,
man,
man.
holy shit! I can't wait till he comes down this weekend, bro. Like,
Right.
me, him, and Jamil are all gonna be staying together. Fuck, my fucking ribs are gonna be broke by the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jamil's funny too, but Royale is fucking. Oh my god, this guy's
Mm.
hilarious.
He's a comedian, yeah.
There'll never be a down, like a bad, like, a negative moment. It'll
Right.
never get like that when he's around.
Mm.
Dang.
Shout out to my guy Jay, man. We're
Definitely
both
shout that out.
Pisces too. I'm a Pisces. Royale's a Pisces. DJ Logic's a Pisces.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Mm. Dope, dope.
So it's all of our birthday month this month. So
There
kind
you
of like
go.
a,
Uh
celebration.
yeah, yeah.
So if you're showing up, pop a bottle.
There you go.
You know?
Humble respect the two of you give to each other. And before we go, I got to give one more thing to D Styles about respect. Speak on doing the master class at the Beat Junkies Institute of Sound.
Oh yeah. So I'll teach like once a month at the B Junkie DJ school that we have in LA. And you know, like I mainly teach just scratching, like advanced scratching. And you know, we have room for 12 students because we have 12 workstations there. And you know, it's like from age, like I got students there that are like 10, 11 years old, you know,
Wow.
up to like 55. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is the kids, they learn so quick, man. It's scary. You know what I mean? Like I'll teach something and 2 minutes later they got it down. You know, whatever
Mm.
scratch technique pattern I'm showing them.
Damn.
So you know, like basically us beat junkies, we're just trying to pass on what we've learned for this last 30 years of DJing, and just you know pass it on to the new generations, and hopefully they carry that torch, man. Because we don't want this art form to be lost. You know, everything now is turning into you know CDJs and controllers and all that stuff is
Yeah.
cool. You know what I mean? But you know, like the art form that we learned on vinyl, you know, like we feel like we need to carry on that tradition and pass it on. You know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
if anyone is in LA and wants to learn, you know, the art of DJing and turntablism, please come through the Beat Junkie Institute of Sound.
Learn
There you
something new
go.
every day, man.
Yeah, man.
Like I remember you was telling me, D, like I was saying, I was like, oh man, it's because we didn't know we were gonna get the 180 gram vinyl.
Oh,
They
right,
just
right.
they just kind of give it to us, you know. They, surprise. And I remember being like, oh shit, hell yeah, it's 180 gram, like this shit's thick. And D's
Uh-huh.
like, DJs really don't like that thick ass shit.
For scratching, at least for scratching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then I got to thinking about it, like, yeah, that makes sense though. You're juggling a bunch of records, taking a bunch on and off. Like you prefer the lighter ones, right? Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, makes sense.
yeah. No, but the
You could
color came
definitely
out
you could
really
definitely
good.
tell the difference. Yeah, it did.
Right, right.
You could
Yeah,
notice the difference, but the red came out real nice for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. Super sick.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, D, did
Mhm.
the Sure Shot slogan, does that like come from like the Gangstar songs and stuff like,
Oh no,
or
yeah, so the Sure Shot thing was a collab of a beer that we did in LA. So that hat you
oh
have
shit.
is was called the B Junkie Sure Shot, which was our
Yeah.
beer.
Wish
I
I
don't
had
think
one.
I have. Ian,
Because
yeah,
I was listening
I
to
gotta send you one.
Gangstar
Yeah.
earlier and he was like, it's another Gangstar Sure Shot.
Right, right, right,
And I'm like, oh shit. It made me wonder, y'all
right.
actually put out a Sure Shot drink? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. We did
That's fucking
a
dope.
collab with the Beer Tape. Shout out to Beer Tape in LA. Like 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 they've done like collabs with like Razkaz,
Is that
Crime
who
Apple.
Big Twins got the IPA
Big
out with
Twins.
now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Big
Yep.
Twins. House
Yeah.
Shoes has done stuff. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it was through them, and it was just like a you know like a quick like run of I don't know how many cans or whatever, but yeah. So you got the merch from that. That's what it is.
Fire.
Man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I was like Christmas when I got that bag. Before the video shoot too, I'm like, oh, we got to shoot? Fuck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
That was perfect, man. Perfect timing.
Man.
Appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate it,
Yeah.
man.
It's been a great chop up, bro.
Yeah, always Ian. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, I like digging into, just finding out how the albums come to be, and just everyday living, everything goes hand in hand.
Yep.
I want to shout you out too because I remember you've been supporting me so long. I want to say thank you for that as well. But I
Yeah, man.
remember, back when you was buying albums when you weren't even doing the podcast. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember when you started the podcast, I'm like, hell yeah, this is gonna be great. Because, you know, in my opinion, everybody who does a podcast, and even more so everybody who just even like you get into the reviewers and things like that, everybody doesn't have a genuine care, you know what I mean, behind it. And a lot of people will have like a motive or some type of angle. So when I see you start the podcast, I'm like, hell yeah, this is gonna be dope. Because it's genuine, bro. You always just been a straightforward dude and appreciate what you do, man.
Thank
And
you.
everybody that you choose to shed light on, man, it's always somebody dope that deserves it, and just appreciate what you do, bro. You know,
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
for sure. You're very welcome, man. No doubt.
And the floor is yours. Give your shout outs, let everyone know where they can go, continue to support your music. Even though the physicals are sold out, you can still go get the digital for He Who Laughs Last.
Definitely,
Oh yeah.
definitely. And digital's just in one place. That's on your Bandcamp, right?
It's damn. No,
Or is it
wait.
on?
It's on
That's good.
Perpetual Stews Bandcamp, I believe.
And that includes the instrumentals and the extendeds, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll include the whole album plus the extended versions and the instrumentals. And yeah,
It's
my
on
Bandcamp.
iTunes, of course. You know,
Oh yeah, it's on
and D's Bandcamp. Well, you
iTunes,
probably
Spotify.
should hit those other two first.
Yeah, definitely.
Hit one of the Bandcamps first before you go to the big guys.
Yeah.
But it's anywhere that you need to find it. You know, substance810.com with me, substance810 on all the socials, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Real easy to find. Come tap in, talk to me. I'll talk back. We lost Ian. It's gonna end up getting cut later. It's been great though, D. Have a good
sure.
rest of your night, bro.
Sorry about
Oh, he's
that.
back.
Oh, there you go.
That was like some magician shit right there. But yeah, man, it's real simple to find me though. What about you, D? What you gotta say?
I'm mainly just on Instagram, DJ D
Okay.
Styles. Hardly on Facebook. And that's about it. Yeah, and then my Bandcamp is DJ D Styles Bandcamp. But check out the new album Oppenheimer is dropping tonight. That's
That's right.
one half of
Yeah.
Widowmaker, and
Yep.
he's got a lot of dope features on that album. So that drops tonight, midnight.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Check that out. A lot of my brothers on there dumping.
Yep.
Midnight. I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, there you
soon.
go. So thanks, Ian.
Yep. Absolutely.
That perfect.
And on behalf of our HHDG media crew, we're gonna say peace.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. Thank you.